Tears, Triumph, Endtod, Xukai und Tan Songyun most touching story yet.
In a crowded auditorium filled with flashing cameras and endless cheers, Tan Songyun was caught on camera wiping away tears. It wasn't part of a publicity stunt. It wasn't rehearsed. It was real. The moment the list of China's top 5 most beloved male actors for 2025 was revealed, and Xukai's name appeared, she couldn't hold back her emotions. For years, they've shared the same artistic journey, starting young, facing criticism, and slowly building reputations grounded in sincerity. Her tears that night represented something far bigger than friendship. They symbolized the emotional weight of seeing someone rise not through scandal or hype, but through perseverance and soul. Once known only for his striking looks and impeccable poise, Xukai could have easily remained another fleeting idol. Yet, he refused that shallow destiny. Instead, he tore through the limits of typecasting to become one of China's most respected performers.
His secret? A quiet rebellion against perfection.
While many actors chase public approval, Xukai chose introspection. He turned self-doubt into motivation. He studied movement, tone, and silence, transforming himself from a beautiful face into an emotional storyteller. He once admitted privately, "I doubted if I belonged in acting, but that fear became my fuel." Those doubts forged the maturity you now see on screen, subtle, layered, and achingly human.
The Entertainment-Industrie loves speed, fast Fame, viral Moments, over nicht Sensations.
Yet, in this chaos, Xukai became a quiet storm. He's proof that slow, honest artistry can still win hearts in an age ruled by trends. Audiences now crave authenticity. They're tired of empty glamour. They want emotions they can feel, stories that touch the soul. Xukai's performances embody that demand. With a single look, he conveys longing, grief, and hope, without a single unnecessary gesture. He doesn't overact. He doesn't chase attention. Instead, he lets emotions breathe, allowing viewers to find pieces of themselves in every glance. That's why his rise feels different, because it's not about hype, it's about truth. When Tan Songyun's eyes welled up that night, fans across Weibo exploded with emotion. They called it the most honest moment of 2025. For those who have followed her career, that reaction made perfect sense. She has seen Xukai grow from a hesitant young actor to a calm, grounded performer. Behind every smile lies the memory of sleepless rehearsals, failed auditions, and years spent proving worth to a ruthless industry. Her tears weren't just admiration, they were understanding. Because she, too, knows how heavy it feels to fight silently, to endure while others doubt you, to rebuild your identity again and again. When she whispered, "He finally made it," it wasn't celebration, it was recognition.
Two journeys, one heartbeat.
Xukai's path to the top wasn't driven by social media trends or viral scandals. In fact, he rarely updates his online profiles. Instead, he lets his work do the talking. Directors describe him as the man who never rushes but always delivers. That quiet confidence has become his brand, authenticity over attention. In an age when fame often fades as quickly as it flares, Xukai proves that stillness can be more powerful than spectacle. Each role he plays adds depth to his persona, measured, reflective, honest. He makes you believe that restraint is not weakness, it's strength mastered. The year 2025 also marks Xukai's expansion beyond China's borders. His fanbase now stretches across Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America. International audiences describe him as the actor who doesn't need translation. That global fascination isn't because of production budgets or costumes, it's because of emotion. His work transcends cultural lines. He reminds global audiences that acting, at its core, is about shared humanity. In every country, people recognize sincerity, and Xukai radiates it naturally. Every generation of Chinese television has its icons, but few manage to blend beauty, intellect, and emotional depth the way Xukai does. Viewers trust him. They feel safe investing their emotions in his characters because they sense his honesty. He doesn't act for the camera, he acts through it, channeling empathy that crosses from screen to heart. Fans say, "When he's sad I cry, when he smiles I feel warm." That connection explains why his ranking wasn't just statistical. It was emotional. He earned it, not through followers but through feelings. Every great story needs reflection, and Tan Songyun has become the emotional mirror of this tale. Her compassion has long been her signature, both on and off screen. She represents a generation of actresses who choose sensitivity over spectacle. Her friendship with Soo Kai stands as a rare kind of bond in the competitive world of entertainment, one built on shared struggle and mutual respect. When the world applauded Soo Kai, Tan Songyun's tears reminded everyone that success isn't a solo race. It's a shared journey, made meaningful by those who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Something profound is happening in Chinese entertainment. For years, fame meant perfection, flawless visuals, glossy PR, constant exposure. But now, audiences are shifting. They want realness. They want emotion that feels lived, not staged. Soo Kai's quiet evolution and Tan Songyun's emotional sincerity have become symbols of this new era. They redefine beauty as depth. They prove that vulnerability is power. Their authenticity has reshaped the narrative of what it means to be a top star. 2025 isn't about who shines the brightest. It's about who shines the longest, who moves hearts instead of chasing headlines. People often see fame but not the fatigue. Soo Kai's work ethic is legendary. Crew members talk about him rehearsing dialogue until dawn, dissecting each scene until emotion feels perfectly balanced, never exaggerated, never empty. He believes acting isn't a performance, it's a form of truth-telling. As he once put it, "I don't want the audience to remember me. I want them to remember how my characters made them feel." That mindset turns acting into empathy, transforming every role into a bridge between himself and the audience. Even now, with his name among the most celebrated in Asia, Soo Kai remains grounded. He doesn't see awards as validation, but as motivation. He knows fame fades, but sincerity endures. His discipline, humility, and emotional intelligence have become his legacy. He walks into every set not as a celebrity, but as a learner. That's the key difference between temporary stars and lasting artists. Soo Kai belongs to the latter, those who believe storytelling is a form of service, not self-promotion. Tan Songyun and Soo Kai remind us that empathy is the unseen engine of creativity. Their friendship transcends competition. In a world often obsessed with comparisons, they choose support. In every tear and smile they share, fans see something deeper, a reminder that success is most beautiful when it's shared. That's why the moment went viral. Because in her tears and his silence, people found hope. For those watching this video, remember this: stars like Soo Kai and Tan Songyun are more than entertainers. They are reflections of our own dreams. The fear of failure, the courage to keep going, the vulnerability to feel deeply even when the world is watching. Their stories remind us that the path to success isn't about speed. It's about direction, patience, and the courage to stay true when everyone else changes course. Soo Kai's name now stands for consistency, compassion, and credibility. In a landscape filled with noise, he represents calm. In an industry obsessed with trends, he represents timelessness. Tan Songyun's emotional authenticity complements his journey, proving that sensitivity is not weakness, but a rare kind of strength. Together, they redefine the meaning of success, not who is seen the most, but who moves the most hearts. Their story teaches us that even in a digital era of distraction, authenticity still wins. That patience, empathy, and hard work still matter. And that the most powerful moments often happen when the cameras aren't looking, like a friend quietly shedding tears of pride. Soo Kai is not just a star, he's a storyteller of emotions. Tan Songyun is not just an actress, she's a heartbeat in human form. Together, they remind us why we still fall in love with stories, again and again.